Blessed. We use that word a great deal, don't we? I hear it many, many times a day, especially if I have Moody Radio on in the car, because people are always talking on Moody Radio about how blessed they are, and no matter what manner of horrible calamity befalls them, because of their great faith, God will bless them. And now they are doing beautifully. Well, when people start talking about how blessed they are to be a Christian, I often think of my good friend Dwayne. We were at the seminary together, Dwayne and I, and we were at a cocktail party, which we were instructed to call a fellowship event, so that none of the pietists got upset about the seminarians drinking cocktails. And at these events, there was always much talk about being blessed. And one poor little seminary wife, who thus far in her life had never encountered anything more serious than a run in her stockings, was going on to poor Dwayne about how blessed we all were. But the thing is, she did not know Dwayne's history. And as Dwayne glared at her over his 6th or 7th beer, all of us who had gone to college with Dwayne knew what was coming. Fireworks. See, Dwayne had retired from the Marine Corps when he became a Christian because he had decided to become a pastor. And he had to start from scratch. And so he went all the way through college with all of us. And during college, his wife died of cancer. And she left Dwayne with 4 kids to raise on his own. Then right after, not very long anyway, after his wife died, he discovered that his little girl, who for him the sun rose and set on, had a serious heart condition. And then during the first year or so of seminary, Dwayne developed bladder cancer. Now this all in Dwayne's life was on top of trying to go to school and raise 4 kids on a meager government check. So Dwayne looked at the poor little sim wife and said, "Blessed? Are we blessed? Well, my wife died when she was 40, and my little girl has a heart condition and may not make it to 20. And last year, I was diagnosed with bladder cancer, and now I pee out of a tube. You want to see?" And he started to untuck his shirt. And she was backing away as furiously as she could and stammering, and Dwayne was grinning in her face, and he said, "Now, on top of all of that, I'm trying to learn how to parse a Hebrew verb and keep an apartment squared away and drill my boy on his times tables and read a bedtime story to my daughter and just wonder if maybe we can squeeze 4 more bowls of cereal out of that half quart of milk that's left in the fridge. Boy, do I feel blessed. God's just a peach." By this time, she had backed her way to the hall and was running down looking for her husband. And we all had another beer with Dwayne. See, we get confused about that word blessed. See, Jesus isn't promising blessings in this life, is he? He's not saying if we follow him, life is just going to be a rose garden. He's recognizing that life is difficult. That we are poor in spirit. That we are in mourning, that we are in conflict, that we are persecuted. That's life. And today we are celebrating our 100th All Saints Day in this congregation. So it seems like a good time to remember what is promised in the Beatitudes. Not that we'll have a peachy life on earth, but that our real home awaits us with God and with all the saints who have preceded us to that home for the last 100 years. Remember who is blessed and what being blessed is. Blessed in Matthew doesn't have anything to do with material earthly things. but salvation. Are we blessed? Absolutely. We are blessed because Christ gave his life and his soul to prepare a place for each one of us in this room, in paradise. But wait, that's not all, as they say on late night TV. The reality of our salvation does bring us material blessings. We are blessed in knowing the end of the story as we make our way through this life. Because we know that we're headed for a place where there will be no more conflict, no more sadness, no more heartache. And not only that, but we will be there with all the people we love. See, knowing that, it just changes all of our priorities in life. In this life, this material life. Because we can just kind of relax a little bit. And realize that most of the stuff over which we stress and strain just doesn't matter. I mean, you know, so what if little Johnny fails geometry? He's not going to need it there. You know, the point of education isn't to master some specific amount of material, but just to use the gift of our brain and to explore what they can do. And so what if you can't pay the mortgage? It's just a house and you're not going to need it because you have a mansion to live in. So let the bank have it and move on to glorify God wherever you live right now until you live in that mansion that has already been prepared for you. See, and obviously the list could go on and on and on with all of our examples of spiritual poverty and oppression and hunger and conflict. But the point is, Jesus has already taken care of all of that. He died on the cross to pay for it. He secured our eternal place. The Word promises us this. We receive that promise at our baptisms. And we are fed the body and blood of Christ week after week after week to help us to hold on to that promise while we make our way through this life as the people of God. Sometimes, when you have a really bad day, the only thing that gets you through that really horrible day is remembering that a hot meal and a warm bed and a family who loves you is awaiting you back home. Remember also that at the end of all the days, paradise with all the saints, all the people who we love, that's what awaits us.